I'm here to share an audacious idea. Big challenges, as Rose said, are not new to any of us. And here's ours. We are rewiring, wait for it, the economy for good to unlock, standing ovation on that, thank you very much, to unlock the full potential of business to create a better world. Every audacious idea, as you know, begins with an aha moment. And let me take you to mine. For me, building the purpose economy began when a client asked me to help them create a corporate social responsibility strategy over 10 years ago. And what I found was something else, a social purpose on the inside. The question then became, would they build their business around it? And they said yes, and did. This blueprint made the difference between philanthropy and corporate social responsibility and social purpose clear. Not so clear to any of you because I've blurred it out. I didn't want you spending your time reading while I was talking to you. Now, did I? But it made the difference clear. And that changed the conversation at the board. This, for me, was my aha moment. I knew about purpose, but I hadn't seen what it could do. From doing good on the outside of the business to purpose at the core. So like any good consultant, I thought this tool works. I'm going to put it on my website and invite other businesses who might want to go down the same social purpose journey. And lo and behold, a year later, I got a knock on my door because back in those days, we actually knocked on people's doors. I got a knock on the door from none other than the United Way of the Lower Mainland, now the United Way BC. Anybody from the United Way here today? I tried to kind of sneak a few of you in, but there she is. There you are. Yes, over there at the back. Knocked on my door, and they were looking for something for their corporate donors, who themselves were trying to find a way to make deeper impact in the community beyond traditional check writing. And they saw the potential of social purpose. So I'm getting ahead of myself. What we did over the next year was work together then to do this and launched the Social Purpose Institute in 2018. And we have the former founding director, Mary Ellen Chasma, hands up. And if there are any businesses in here that went through the Social Purpose Institute, let's stand up and see who you are. Did you go through the Social Purpose Institute? Yeah, they're all sitting over on this side of the room. No, a few over here. You were the path-finding companies that upon which we all learned and grew together. And thank you for your leadership. So when we were at the Social Purpose Institute, we created a number of tools and resources, and here's one. We did a scan around the world to see how social purpose in business would be defined. And we landed on this as a social purpose business is a business whose core reason for being is to create a better world. Echoes of Rose's speech, if you recall it. Create a better world. And we defined it when we looked around the world to see how other people were using the term social purpose. They said social purpose, they said purpose, they said purpose with a capital P, they said higher purpose and grander purpose. All those count, and we call it social purpose. And also, a social purpose business is a business who might have a social a purpose and or an environmental purpose. So it would involve all of those attributes as well. And what was going on in BC at the time was foundational to what we are now building nationally. We saw that it was so successful that we wanted to scale it. So we have a collective of extraordinary founders who helped set up the Canadian Purpose Economy Project along with our partners at Canadian Business for Social Responsibility. We are housed in their charitable home, their education foundation. Read, we accept donations. Did I say we're housed in their charitable home? There must not be so many funders in the room because I didn't get too many laughs. But anyways, I'll keep going. But could I also have the founders of the Canadian Purpose Economy Project stand up and be recognized? And anybody associated with CBSR, you're a CBSR member, you're a staffer at CBSR. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it looks like they like to hang out on that side of the room. So something's going on over there. And of course, left-leaning, got it. And we have, of course, we're pleased to be supported by a growing group of funders. Not to have you stand up, but just to have a little wave. Any of you who are funding Van City, I see the chair of Community Savings Credit Union over there waving his hand proudly. Any other funders of Van City, Proclaim Group, thank you so much. We couldn't be here without you. So what are we up to? Our vision is, and here is the audacious idea, that by 2030, 25% of Canadian businesses are social purpose business. This is the tipping point. This is the point at which the system starts to shift. And we are bringing that audacious vision to life through these 11 levers of change, which we adopted as our strategic plan. They were built upon 3 years of consultations through the Social Purpose Institute and Mars in Toronto. They had a Business for Purpose network and some consultations at the Globe conferences. These 11 levers of change are the levers that we need to pull to create an enabling environment for social purpose to start or transition, thrive, and grow. By pulling these levers, we will be able to build the purpose economy and create the conditions for social purpose business to become the norm. It is our ambition that we will shift the economic drivers from profit first to purpose first. And that's time for another round of applause. Thank you. And by the way, where's the photographer, Brad? Are you close enough? Come on, young lady. Oh, you got one of those. Okay. I just want to direct a few over there. I see you. All right, okay. So here, seriously, I mean, I do have a pink jacket, right? Okay, so anyways, where am I? All right, so anyways, here's how we are going to mainstream purpose and business. First, we're going to build the scaffolding. Boards of directors, follow me here. Is it true in your mind that boards of directors of companies are fundamental to transitioning businesses to be a force for good? If there's a board of directors, they need to know why the company exists. Yeah? We're all there. Well, we found out that, in fact, boards do not know that it's their responsibility to adopt a purpose and then to oversee it. And not only that, they don't know how to oversee it, believe it or not, except for any board that Rose is on. I'm sure they're all doing a good job over there. But so to fill that gap, we created something called, of course, Purpose Governance Guidelines. And now these are embedded in the governance education models of 6 national governance organizations across Canada. They are now teaching purpose governance to corporate secretaries, general counsel, directors, and chairs of boards. They are now teaching it, and this will, over time, become standard practice. So investors, we're inviting investors to step up. Pardon the pathetic puns, but if you knew my husband Phil, you would know why I had all these pathetic puns in here. But in any case, step up. And what we're looking to do here, I'm looking for some head nods. Again. Investors. Do you think it would make sense that an investor would know why the business existed that they were financing? Think about it. Is that not like self-evident? Obvious, and guess what? They don't. Hard to believe. Hands up if you got an RRSP or wish you had one. All right, all right. Now, if you just think for a moment, the folks that are managing your money don't know why those companies exist. And that is wrong. It's crazy wrong. So, of course, we're trying to change the economy. We need investors to come along for the ride. What did we do? We created, come on, sing it out. We created, yes, we did that too. And now, of course, we have investor outreach and education underway. And of all the things we're doing, that's the longest road. When I speak to investors, they readily say, we don't know why, and then the companies exist. And then when I tell them, but if you did know why, then you would want to make sure that the board had adopted it. Yes, you would want to make sure that the board had oversight of it, and it was in the board's terms of reference. Yes, and then you'd want to make sure that the purpose was connected to the strategy and drove the strategy, yes, and drove incentives and other things. Investors get this framework, but they haven't yet started to act on it, and we're going to change that, of course. And so disclosures is another one of our levers. We are all concerned about purpose washing. A lot of folks are actually cynical about this movement because I say, okay, well, what we need, of course, are a set of guidelines for companies to disclose authentically and transparently on their purpose. Makes sense to all of us in the room? If you have a purpose, you should disclose on how you're progressing on it. Well, believe it or not, when we started this work, there wasn't a single standard in the world that helped companies know how to disclose on their purpose. And guess what? Are companies disclosing on their purpose? No. Do they know how? No. So what are we doing? I'm not going to make you sound it out. We're creating purpose disclosure guidelines, and we're encouraging companies to adopt it. And we're pleased to say we have a number of purpose disclosure first movers. Most recently, TELUS, a publicly traded corporation, has used our purpose disclosure guidelines, and I see Jeff Pegg, formerly of TELUS. He was in, hands up, Jeff, so you guys go talk to him, formerly of TELUS. He was instrumental in getting TELUS to adopt these purpose disclosures, and we're very proud of that. Coast Capital, of course, is up here, beloved by all of us. And then we have business schools who are trying to level up. So follow me here. This is like such an obvious thing to say. I think I'm going to get 100% of you agreeing with me on this. Does it make sense to you that business schools should teach how to run one of these businesses? Right? Does it make sense? So, and guess what? How many business schools in the world are teaching social purpose in the core curricula? Give me a number. 5%. How many? 5. Business schools teaching it around the world at the MBA level in the core curriculum. 5, I hear 5. Do I hear 4? Do I hear 3, 2, 1? Okay, okay. So 5, it's 2. 1 in Australia and 1 in Germany. And of course, we can't read either of their curricula. So we have to invent it here in Canada. But basically, business schools in Canada are graduating leaders unprepared to run social purpose companies. That's wrong. That's wrong. They are quite prepared to teach shareholder primacy and revenue primacy and profit primacy and bottom line primacy. They're very prepared to do that. They do it holistically. And what we're trying to do at the Canadian Purpose Economy Project is find some deans and some business schools who will break away and teach it fundamentally in the core curricula. And we're pleased to be collaborating with Ivy Business School at Western University, and some of these relationships are forged by our good partners here, Eric Servala, an MBA grad of Ivy, and together we are creating we have created a purpose governance case study. So purpose governance, back to the role of the board, a case study. I didn't go to business school. Don't tell anybody. But if I had, I would have learned about this case study method for educating students about how to operate businesses and things. So if you can get into a case study, if you can get purpose into a case study, Ivy is going to proliferate this around the world and encourage academics and other professors to teach it. And this will be at least one way we have a mainstreaming purpose teaching in business schools. And of course, in Canada, we are reaching out to deans and business schools and profs and academics to see if they would start to embed social purpose in the core curricula. And then we have associations who are defining what to measure. That's a long shot on the measuring tape, but that's all I had. But anyways, we are trying to, with associations, reach business at scale. Figure this out. This is one of our levers of change. We have, if we can get to associations and if we can encourage them to educate their members, we can educate entire sectors. Maybe entire sectors could become purpose-driven, or entire professions. Think HR profession. Maybe the whole HR profession could become a social purpose profession, and wouldn't we want to see that happen today? But we have found, of course, that it's pretty well not, social purpose is not part of association life. It's new to them. It's not part of association competency models. I do have to call out HR. Anybody in HR in this room? Anybody? Just hands up really, really high. Don't worry, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm not going to shoot you. But I am going to hit you up at coffee. I see Kristen Lanson from Community Savings and a few others I haven't met yet. But HR, if you can believe, are you a chartered HR manager? You don't want to say you're not if you're not. Okay. So if you could be a chartered HR manager in Canada and figure HR in Canada and not know the first thing about how to mobilize your employees on their purpose. Oh, well, their purpose or the company's purpose. Not know the first thing, because the HR competency model in Canada is absolutely silent on purpose. Can you believe that? HR. After boards, in my view, it's the HR department that's fundamental to standing up purpose in an organization. So you need governance professionals, corporate secretaries, directors, general counsel, and then you need the HR department. And they are not yet allies on this, and we want to change that, of course. What are we doing? Chambers, yes. We are the Canadian Purpose Economy Project. We are very passionate about the Chamber of Commerce movement. Does that make sense? Yeah. And for all of you who are nodding your heads, if you really want to understand the movement better, there's Fiona Famulek. Hands up, Fiona, former CEO of the BC Chamber of Commerce. You can hit her up for her advice. I do often. But when she was at the BC Chamber of Commerce, she led the creation of a social purpose business course of five videos, which Mary-Ellen Shafsma moderated. And this course is now publicly and freely available. So business schools and others could go to the BC Chamber of Commerce website and learn everything there is, everything I know about social purpose in that video series. So thank you for your leadership, Fiona. But what we are trying to now do is get into the Chamber of Commerce movement regionally. So we have partnered with Souk and Tofino Chamber of Commerce. Anybody here from Vancouver Island? Anybody took the video over? Yay to you. We're partnering with Souk and Tofino Chamber of Commerce, and we've created something called the Vancouver Island Purpose and Business Collaborative. So we're trying to create a regional hub of social purpose on Vancouver Island. Please refer businesses you know to join us there. And off we go, creating this. We hope to scale this regional model. If it works on Vancouver Island, where it'll start first, we'll see if we can replicate that across Canada. All right. So, So if we're trying to change the economy, we're trying to get investors on board, boards on board, associations, business schools, etc., we also need to make this global, don't we? Like, can we just do this in Canada? We want to just do this in Canada, but can we just do this in Canada? So we've held two global purpose economy roundtables, bringing together other ecosystem players like us who are trying to activate social purpose in their jurisdictions. Australia, Europe, UK, in and out of Europe. It's really hard to know where they sort of fit on the continuum, and US, and of course Canada. And we are now working to raise the Canadian purpose model onto the global stage. It's now going global. Canadian purpose thinking is informing global standards and frameworks. Hello. All right. Thank you. Very responsive audience. I like that. I like that. I'll speak for you again, Brad, okay? We're okay? I'll just pick up one standard off the list here, which is B Corp. Okay, hands up all you proud B Corp companies in the room. Lots, oh, you actually go swing right and left, it looks like. Okay, then. B Corp standards, which, if you don't know, is a leading global standard for responsible business practices. And we contributed to their update of their standards which were released last spring. And they have adopted a definition of social purpose business that aligns with our definition of a social purpose business. And not only that, they incorporated a number of our tools into their global standards. So what's now happening is anybody who looks into those standards around the world, they'll have access right away to all those guidelines I was just telling you about, proliferating the Canadian model around the world. And so what you can take from this is that this is how the global system shifts. Say after me. This is how the global system shifts. Okay. So if you know an investor, if you know a board member, a chair of the board, if you know any of Rose's boards, if you know a business school dean or prof or an association, please refer them to us so we can all work together and build the purpose economy. And what are we doing next? But we're creating the education system, and we're bringing together the social purpose body of knowledge, compiling everything we've ever learned from the days of the Social Purpose Institute, learning from all the SPI companies and others into a toolkit. And thank you to Van City Credit Union, who is sponsoring our toolkit. Van City, I saw you earlier. Oh, yeah, you can stand up. No, okay, did you want to stand up? No, she didn't. Okay, that's fine. But Van City's here, we all know it, and we heard from from Judith earlier. So we are now building the body of knowledge to support this work at scale. So you'll say, okay, Coro, really, how's it going? And we want to know how it's going too. So we conducted a study of the TSX 60 last summer. TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange, 60 of Canada's largest publicly traded corporations. And lo and behold, we found out that 40% of those large companies already have a social purpose to create a better world. That number, Doug, was very high. That surprised us too. Anyways, when we lifted our chin up off the floor, we then started to ask the question, well, are they governing it? Big gap here. I'm not going to go and sort of shame all of these companies, but we found a big gap between them declaring a social purpose on their website and the board's oversight of it, as evidenced by terms of reference. We did find 8 examples and 4 good examples. BMO, Scotia, TELUS, and WSP, if you want to know. And so there is much work to be done, but the adoption rates are pretty high. And even so, they're high among SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises. We were pleased to partner with the Financial Resilience Institute, and Katie Sutter, I think, might be here in the room. Katie, at the back there, we tagged on a national poll they were doing, 2 questions around whether Canadian SMEs had a social purpose or not. And we found out that nearly 40% of Canadian small businesses have an implicit, hear that word, or explicit social purpose, or want to get one. And we think that's a very high number, and that thrills us greatly. But we need to move from implicit to explicit social purpose. And then, importantly, from explicit social purpose to explicit social purpose. And with that, and this is going to buy me another 2 minutes because I'm running a little bit late, Brad, this next slide is going to buy me a couple of minutes, all right? All right, and here we are. We are pleased to join and partner with none other than Greater Purpose. As Brad mentioned earlier, we're in a deep partnership. They, as you know, are convening the purpose community, and that's why you're all here. And we're indebted to Brad and Claire and his team for their effort. And the Canadian Purpose Economy Project is bringing resources and tools and ecosystem engagement and thought leadership so we can have a complete package. Of course, we want you to join the Greater Purpose community, with greater purpose, we are working to make purpose in business real, to close the gap from aspired purpose to purpose delivered. And that's the work that we have ahead of us. And we're delighted to see that Canadians and business leaders are stepping up. We launched a few years ago a call to purpose, which is a CEO-led invitation to business to center purpose. And we have over 100 CEOs who've signed it to date, and we have over 300 Canadians who've also signed it, including most recently 8 of my dearest family members. I was trying to get the number up to 500, but I need your help. We need another 50 people to get up to 500. And somebody's already pointing out, you have a card at your table, no excuse. There's a QR code here. You too can sign up for the call to purpose. And we hope that you all do. So we are building the purpose economy. We're on track to make social purpose in business the norm. We are seeing companies rewire themselves. We are rewiring the way business actually works. And it's happening right here. Audacious? Audacious? Perhaps so. But together, we're breaking through. And you thought you had enough of me. Well, guess what? There's another few more minutes of me and one of my partners in crime. I would like to invite Mike Rowlands on the stage. And we are going to give you an example of audacity in practice. And Mike Rowlands himself is no stranger to audacity. And by the way, I had to look it up. Is it audacity or audacity? And it's actually audacity. But anyways, I didn't practice that enough. But so here's Mike. Take it from here and let us know who that fellow is.
This fellow here with the red circle around him? Many in the room, I think, know Peter Weeme. Peter is a dear friend of many of us, a phenomenal mentor to an awful lot of us, and my former business partner in my firm, Junction Strategy. Peter has been such an extraordinary leader in this space of social purpose. He's one of those people that you can always count on for the right word of advice and for the right nudge, and if you really need it, the hard push to take the big, bold next step. So I'm up here today because we want to congratulate somebody for taking a big, bold next step. Yes?
Awesome. Thank you so much. And here's our fellow Peter Weeme. And indeed, that's how he looks on most days.
Yeah, it's his alter ego, Pedro. He's lovely.
His alter ego. Yeah.
In Peter's honor, we developed last year the Peter Weeme Purpose Economy Champion Award. And today we're proud to be giving away the second of these awards. The first one went actually last year to the 6 authors of A Call to Purpose, and they were celebrated here in Vancouver at an event that we co-hosted with Greater Purpose. Do you want to do the honors?
Yes. So today...
It's just the person right here.
Oh, okay, thank
right
you.
Here.
Thank you.
Just,
oh my God.
In case you didn't know.
Today, we would like to recognize someone who helped get this movement off the ground. It is our honor, on behalf of the Canadian Purpose Economy Project, to present the Peter Weeme Purpose Economy Champion Award to Mary Ellen Schaafsma, the founder of the Social Purpose Institute.
Congratulations. Thank you for everything.
Come in the middle. In the middle. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. What a deep honor, honestly, and I'm really touched to be given this award. Thank you, the Canadian Purpose Economy Project, all of you in the room. As with most, as is often said, because it is absolutely true. No achievement is done alone. So just a few quick thank yous. There will be more in a LinkedIn post that I put out later today. But first to the United Way BC. They took a chance on this idea, and without them, we wouldn't have had a home to incubate this whole movement. So thank you to the United Way. Also to the early funders, the federal government, McConnell Family Foundation, who saw the potential of this idea and gave us seed funding to grow it, which again was the beginning of this whole movement. To the team, the people that I worked with at the Social Purpose Institute for powering and creating the success that we had there. And also there's many in the room, the early adopters who trusted us to help them get a social purpose, and who have been proving since that time that it truly is a world-changing concept. And lastly, to my dear Coro, she and I were co-conspirators at the very beginning, and without her, we would not be here, to be perfectly honest. So thank you, Coro. So I have to wrap it up, but I am here at the conference. I would love to chat with any and all of you, if I can, and just talk about what the future might look like if together we create more purpose in business, because as Claire said, now is the time. We need this. This is a solution to the many issues and problems that we're facing in the world today. So let's do this thing.
All right, and before we do this thing, an official photo. And we have a couple of people. Ruth, can you help us with this too? Get this out of the way.
Very official. Very official.
Awesome, awesome. And so I made Mary Ellen promise she wouldn't bring me into it, and she has, so I'm now incriminated. But basically, Mary Ellen, we are all building this. And so together, let's be audacious. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Ruth.
There we go. Thank you.
Thanks, team. I think it's audacious, isn't it? Audacious?
Yeah.
Isn't that a hot sauce?
It's break time. That, by the way, you have just sat through by far the longest time we have our bums and seats. We really pride ourselves on lots of time for networking. So you're going to be spending a lot of time on your feet or in the chairs or outside on the patio. We are breaking till 11:25. For those of you at the back of the room, there are seats for all of you. We know there are seats for everyone here. Sometimes it means you coming up to one of the tables at the front. Sorry, it's what you have to do. You're free to stand as well. We can bring in some more chairs at the back. But we are breaking till 11:25. Reminder, please check out Brain Date. They'll be with us throughout the next 2 days, but sign up for a Brain Date session, and we'll see you back at 11:25.